Lesson number 8, Exothermic and Endothermic Reactions. Most of the chemical reactions occur involvement of the energy or heat. So, depending on the heat or whether they are going to absorb or whether they are going to release heat, we can divide the chemical reactions into exothermic and endothermic reactions. So, first we'll see what is an exothermic reaction. If a chemical reaction is going to produce heat to the surrounding environment when the reaction is occurring, that chemical reaction is known as exothermic reaction. So, in an exothermic reaction, we can observe that the reacting where the place where the reactant is going to occur is going to be little bit hot. So on the other hand, endothermic means when a chemical reaction is occurring, if it's going to absorb heat from the environment or from the surrounding environment, it is known as an endothermic reaction. So when an endothermic reaction is occurring, usually the reacting medium is going to be little bit cold. Here you all can see the energy level diagrams. So we can draw energy level diagrams for the exothermic reactions and for the endothermic reactions. We'll see how we are going to draw that. First, we'll look about the exothermic reaction. So usually in an energy level diagram, you have to mention the reactants and the products, and you have to mention what is their heat. So here in this exothermic reaction, look at the graph. You all can see that the energy of the reactants are higher than the energy of the products. So here you know that in an exothermic reaction, while the reactants are reacting, the energy is going to be released. So finally, the products are going to have less energy than the reactants. So likewise, in an endothermic reaction, if you look at the graph, you can see the reactants are at a lower energy level while the products are going to be at a higher energy level. So here what's going to happen when the reactants are going to react, they are absorbing heat or the energy, so the final products are going to have a higher energy or higher heat than the reactants. If we move to some examples of exothermic reactions, combustion or the burning, you know that it produces a lot of heat, so it is an exothermic reaction. And also rusting, it is an oxidation reaction, so rusting is also an exothermic reaction. And also the neutralization reactions, which occurs between acids and alkalis, where the salts are going to be produced, it is also an exothermic reaction. If we have a look about some examples of endothermic reactions, melting ice cubes or melting ice creams. So the melting will occur by absorbing heat from the environment, like as the evaporation of water. So for the evaporation, the water is going to absorb heat from the surrounding. The photosynthesis process, it uses the energy of the sun. And then the baking bread, cooking an egg. So these things involve heat. So these are all examples for endothermic reactions. Finally, we can conclude that reactions can be classified as either endothermic or exothermic depending on whether it gives off energy or takes energy in. So this energy can be in the form of light or heat. This heat change is going to be denoted by delta H, and the units of delta H is going to be kilojoules per mole.